Hi my friends, welcome to Stories with Torie today. This week's Weird Holiday is a super fun one. Can you guess maybe what it is by my little friend Dory? If you guessed it is Happy Fish Day, it is totally Fish Day. I love that there's a whole holiday to celebrate our little fishy friends. And the sign language for fish, just put your hand just like this and it just kind of swims like a fish. This is fish. And let's review the sign language we've already have learned. Do you remember this one? This is hello. Remember? Lamp and mistake. And we just learned fish. We are going to read a fantastic book titled Goldfish on Vacation. The words are by Sally Lloyd Jones and pictures are by Leo Espinosa. This is a fantastic book because guess what? It's a true story. So fun. Goldfish on Vacation. It starts. Sometimes it's hard being a goldfish. You dream of growing fat and exploring coral reefs. But instead, here you are in a bowl, going round and round in circles. And sometimes it's hard being a child in the summer in the city. All your friends leave and there's no one to play with. You dream of escaping the steamy heat too, but instead, here you are in an apartment, going round and round in circles. But sometimes, something happens to change all of that. Goldfish on Vacation. In a small apartment in a tall round building by a park next to a river, in the middle of the big city, there lived 3 children. H, little O, and baby M. In a small bowl next to a lamp in the middle of a table besides a curtain in the small apartment, there lived 3 goldfish, Barracuda, Patches, and Fiss. An old fountain stood at the end of their street. It was broken and covered in ivy. No one used it anymore except to throw garbage in. But the children thought it was beautiful. On top of the fountain there perched, as if he just landed or was just about to fly off, a magnificent stone eagle with outstretched wings. Grandpa said the same people who built the famous Grand Central Station built the fountain, and in the olden days, before cars, horses drank from it. But when people got cars, they didn't need horses or the fountain, and they stopped taking care of it. The children felt sad for the fountain and the eagle. Then one early summer day, a sign appeared. Hamilton Fountain Water Garden, coming in 2 weeks, calling all goldfish looking for a summer home. The children rushed home to tell their fish, "You're going on vacation!" Barracuda stared with his big fish eyes. Fiss blew big Fiss bubbles, and Patch sank slowly down to the bottom of the bowl. "See," H said, "they can't wait." Grandpa rushed into the kitchen, and on the big calendar on the wall next to June 28th, he wrote, "Goldfish on Vacation." But the children didn't need a calendar to remember. They were already counting the days. Every morning they rushed to the windows, and so did Grandpa. And every morning they watched a man at the fountain. One morning he was cleaning. The next morning he was scrubbing and scraping. Another morning he pulled ivy off the eagle and filled the fountain with clear, cold water. He put in tall reeds and then lily pads. And then one morning the children couldn't see him. They couldn't see him because of all the children and children and children crowding around him, all of them waiting to drop off their little fish children. "It's today!" cheered H, little O, and baby M, and it was. In no time they were making their way slowly down the big staircase and out the front door, Grandpa leading the way, then little O with her net, then baby M with the fish food, then H with the bowl, and Barracuda and Patch and Fiss in a wonderful goldfish parade. Out on the street, everywhere they looked, there were goldfish parents just like them with their goldfish. When at last it was their turn at the fountain, H and Baby M and little O told their fish goodbye and see you soon and don't be homesick. Then the man helped them lower the bowl underwater. At first the fish hung back in the bowl until, in a flash of light, they darted and were gone. The water shone in the shadow of the eagle's wings, and the children saw glistening in the sunlight, swimming in the clear, cool pool, like sudden glimpses of hidden treasure, fish after goldfish. All through the hot summer, H, little O, and Baby M stopped by to say hello to their goldfish, and so did the other goldfish parents. Soon all the children looked forward to meeting each other at the fountain. Every day they played together, and every day Grandpa came and put his chair down and chatted with the children who sat and listened. And he told them stories of those hot August days long ago when he was a boy, and how all the children who couldn't leave the city would jump and splash in the fountain. And then the children wished that they were those children jumping in. Before they knew it, it was the end of the summer. The man told the goldfish parents that the only way to catch their fish was to go in the fountain, to wade into the water with their nets. And so all the children took off their sandals and jumped and splashed and laughed in the fountain. And then Grandpa took off his sandals too, and rolled up his trousers and paddled. And he said it was like those days long ago when he was a boy. And the children could hardly even recognize their goldfish. They looked like completely different fish. "Are they really our fish?" said little O as they headed home. "Oh, yes, I'm absolutely certain they're our fish," said Grandpa, who really wasn't at all that certain they were. "They look so fat and happy," said H. "Of course," said Grandpa. "That's what a vacation will do for you. Anyway, who says you have to leave the city to have a vacation?" And the children laughed because they knew it was true. And so the goldfish, who may have been barracuda and fish, patch and fish, or some other goldfish altogether, went back to being fish in a bowl. And the children went back to being children in school, until the next summer when Hamilton Fountain would once again be filled with lily pads and reeds and shining water and goldfish. And children. So like I said, this is a true story. I'm going to skip over to the next slide because I wanted to show you right here. I wonder, is the fountain still there today? And it is. It says, this is a true story that happened in New York City over the summers of 1992 to 2005. The fountain is on Riverside Drive on 76th Street. It is called Hamilton Fountain after Robert Ray Hamilton, who gave it to New York. He was actually the great-grandson of the very famous Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, a founding father of the United States. The man who came to clean the fountain was called Brad. He was a volunteer with the Riverside Park. The tall, round building is famous because of the artist Mark. So, the three children and their goldfish and their grandpa were inspired by the author's nieces and nephews. But she made it up about them living in New York. They all lived in England. So you see, it's a completely true, made-up story. Because the fountain is true, and really, children from 1992 to 2005 would really go to this fountain with their goldfish every summer. Just so fun. The book this week that you will see by one of our friends here in school, they are going to read Swim, Swim. So pay attention to when that's coming because this is such a fun book. And we'll read that later this week. And here comes the wonders. I wonder. Somebody wondered here at school, I wonder what is the most popular sport in the world. And number one, it is the world football, or as we know it here in America, is soccer. The estimated fans is 3.5 billion. But there's been a lot of wonders about sports, so I just did all of the top 10 most popular sports. Number 2 would be cricket, and their fans is 2.5 billion. And we don't really know cricket as much as other countries do. Number 3 is basketball, and their estimated fans is 2.2 billion fans. Hockey was number 4 with 2 billion fans. Number 5 was tennis with 1.2 billion fans. Number 6 was volleyball with 900 million fans. The next was table tennis. That was number 7 with 850 million fans. Number 8 was baseball with 500 million fans. Number 9 was rugby with 400 million fans. And last but not least, the number 10 was the American football with 400 million fans. Our next wonder was, I wonder what is the most expensive car in the world of all time. This car is a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO, and it is the most expensive car in the whole world of all time because it costs $70 million. I can't imagine. And it's rare. That's why it's so expensive, because there's only 36 of these cars that were ever made. And they were only made between 1962 and 1963. And they are fast. It has a top speed of 174 miles per hour. And it can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6 seconds. That is a crazy fast, very expensive car. I wonder what is the smallest bone in the human body. It's actually the bone in your ear. They are teeny, as you can see the picture. Just hold out your finger and 3 bones in your ear can fit on the tip of your finger. It is very teeny tiny. Well, I hope you enjoyed Stories with Torie. I hope you are still reading. Maybe try to find a fish book to go with our silly holiday. Bye guys, have fun.